We're here today to uncover one of the deepest, most profound questions you can ask yourself on your spiritual journey. How do you find the best chosen one for your spiritual guidance? Whether you've just started on your path or have been walking it for years, there comes a point when you realize that true spiritual growth often requires a guide, someone who has walked the path before you, who can illuminate the way when everything else seems dark. But how do you know who to trust? How do you recognize that one chosen guide who can help you unlock the divine mysteries within yourself? The first thing we must understand is that the chosen one you're seeking isn't just a teacher or a mentor. This person is someone whose energy resonates with the deepest part of your soul. They're not simply knowledgeable or charismatic. They embody the very principles you're seeking to learn. But here's the paradox. Finding the best chosen one for your spiritual path isn't really about them. It's about you. It's about your readiness to receive, your openness to the unknown, and your willingness to surrender to what the universe has in store for you. Think about this for a moment. We often look outside ourselves for answers, hoping that someone else can give us the key to enlightenment. But the truth is, the best spiritual guide can only reflect back what is already within you. They are a mirror showing you the parts of yourself that you've forgotten, hidden, or ignored. So, the first step in finding the best chosen one for your spiritual guidance is to look within. Ask yourself, am I ready to face the truth of who I am? Because the right guide will not coddle you with comforting lies. They will challenge you to see beyond your limitations, to confront your fears, and to step into your true power.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
But how do you know when you found that guide? How do you recognize the chosen one when they appear in your life? This is where it gets tricky. The best spiritual guide may not always be who you expect. They may not look like the stereotypical guru, dressed in robes or sitting on a mountain. Sometimes the chosen one comes in the form of a friend, a stranger, or even a difficult relationship. The universe works in mysterious ways, and it sends us the guides we need, not the ones we want. So here's a deep question for you. Are you open to receiving guidance from unexpected places? So often we miss out on profound spiritual lessons because we're too attached to how we think our guide should look or act. We have this idea that spiritual wisdom only comes from certain people, those who fit our preconceived notions of what a chosen one should be. But the truth is, the best spiritual guides don't fit into neat boxes. They defy expectations. They show up in your life at the right time, in the right way, and often in ways you could never have imagined. Now, let's talk about discernment. While it's important to be open to guidance from unexpected sources, it's equally important to discern who is truly aligned with your spiritual growth. Not every teacher, mentor, or guide is the right one for you. There are many people out there who claim to have spiritual wisdom but are more interested in power, recognition, or personal gain. So, how do you discern who is truly a chosen one and who is not? It's all about energy. When you're in the presence of a true spiritual guide, you will feel it in your soul. It's not about what they say, how many followers they have, or how impressive their credentials might be. It's about how you feel in their presence. Do they inspire you to go deeper within yourself? Do they encourage you to question everything, including their teachings? Or do they ask you to follow them blindly, without question? A true chosen one will never ask you to surrender your power. They will guide you to reclaim it. Here's another deep question to contemplate. Are you willing to trust your intuition when it comes to choosing a guide? We live in a world that often tells us to ignore our inner knowing, to rely on logic and reason above all else. But the path of spiritual growth is not a linear one. It's a journey into the unknown. And on this journey, your intuition is your most valuable compass. The best chosen one for your spiritual guidance will not speak to your mind, they will speak to your soul. You will feel a resonance with them that goes beyond words, beyond understanding. It is a recognition, a knowing that this person has something to teach you that no one else can. But let's take it a step further. Finding the best chosen one for your spiritual guidance isn't just about who they are, it's about who you are becoming. The chosen one you resonate with today may not be the same person you resonate with a year from now. As you grow, as you evolve, your needs will change. The best spiritual guides understand this. They do not hold on to their students or followers. They encourage them to continue their journey, even if that means seeking guidance from someone else. So ask yourself, am I willing to let go when it's time to move on? This is one of the most difficult lessons on the spiritual path. We become attached to our guides, to the comfort and security they provide. But the path of spiritual growth is one of constant change, and sometimes the best thing you can do is to let go of the guide who brought you here so that you can find the one who will take you to the next level. In the end, the best chosen one for your spiritual guidance is not someone who has all the answers. It's someone who helps you find the answers within yourself. It's someone who challenges you to think for yourself, who encourages you to question everything, and who reminds you that the ultimate authority on your spiritual journey is you. The chosen one is a guide, a mirror, a catalyst, but they are not the destination. The destination is your own awakening. Now that we've explored the importance of discerning the right chosen one for your spiritual guidance, let's dive deeper into the signs that you've found the right guide and how to nurture that connection. It's a delicate, almost mystical process when you find someone whose wisdom resonates with your soul. But how do you know for sure? What should you be looking for? The first and most powerful sign that you found the right guide is a profound sense of recognition. It's not just intellectual or emotional, it's something deeper. It feels like you've known this person long before you ever physically met them. This recognition isn't just about familiarity, it's about resonance. Their energy, their words, their presence stir something inside you. It's as though their guidance awakens parts of you that have been dormant, waiting for this very moment to be unlocked. You feel seen, truly seen, in a way that goes beyond the surface. But here's the key. This recognition doesn't always feel comfortable. In fact, it often feels challenging. The right chosen one will push you to confront the aspects of yourself that you've avoided, the blind spots, the fears, the patterns of self-sabotage. If you find yourself feeling triggered by their words or actions, don't immediately dismiss them. Instead, ask yourself, is this discomfort here to teach me something? The best spiritual guides don't cater to your ego, they speak to your soul. And sometimes, the soul needs to be shaken awake. A true chosen one will challenge you, but they will also provide a sense of security, not through dependency, but through empowerment. You will feel that you are being guided to your own strength, your own truth. They don't create followers, they create leaders. They don't make you dependent on their wisdom, they help you to cultivate your own. This brings us to the second sign you found the right guide. They encourage you to grow beyond them. A true spiritual guide knows that their role is temporary. They are a part of your journey, but not the entirety of it. They know when to step back and allow you to walk on your own. If your guide is constantly trying to keep you in their circle, claiming that they alone hold the key to your enlightenment, this is a red flag. The best spiritual guides will remind you that your path is uniquely yours and that they are simply here to help illuminate certain parts of it. Now, once you've recognized that you found the right guide, how do you deepen that connection? The first step is to approach your relationship with humility and openness. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of finding the best guide. But the truth is, the relationship between you and your spiritual guide is sacred. It's not about putting them on a pedestal or seeing them as infallible. A true spiritual guide is still human, still learning, still evolving. The best way to deepen your connection is to approach them with the understanding that this is a co-creative relationship. You both have something to learn from each other. Here's a question to consider. Are you willing to be vulnerable in this relationship? Spiritual growth requires vulnerability. It requires you to open up, to share your fears, your doubts, your deepest questions. The right guide will hold space for you, not with judgment, but with compassion. They will challenge you, yes, but they will also support you as you navigate the inevitable ups and downs of your journey. Another way to deepen your connection with your spiritual guide is through active participation. This is not a passive relationship. You can't expect to receive profound wisdom if you're not willing to put in the work. This means engaging with the teachings they offer, practicing the techniques or exercises they recommend, and reflecting deeply on the lessons you're learning. Growth doesn't happen by osmosis, it requires active engagement. The chosen ones who guide you are there to point the way, but you must walk the path. Ask yourself, am I truly committed to this process of growth? It's easy to become enamored with the idea of spiritual guidance, but real transformation requires dedication. The best spiritual guides will test your commitment not by making demands, but by presenting you with opportunities for growth that you can either embrace or ignore. They won't force you to grow, but they will invite you to step into a higher version of yourself. Another important aspect of deepening your connection with your guide is cultivating trust not just in them, but in yourself and the process. Trust that you were led to this guide for a reason. Trust that the challenges they present you with are exactly what you need to evolve. Trust that even when things feel uncertain or difficult, there is a higher purpose at work. The relationship between you and your guide is not always going to be smooth sailing. There will be moments of doubt, moments when you question whether you're on the right path. But trust is what will carry you through those moments. Trust is what allows you to continue, even when you don't have all the answers. And remember, trust is a two-way street. A true spiritual guide trusts you as well. They trust that you have the capacity to grow, to evolve, to find your own answers. They trust that you are capable of walking your path with integrity and courage. This mutual trust creates a bond that goes beyond teacher and student. It becomes a partnership in spiritual growth. In the end, deepening your connection with your chosen spiritual guide is about embracing the journey with an open heart and a willing spirit. It's about recognizing the sacredness of the relationship while also understanding that the ultimate goal is not dependency, but empowerment. The best chosen one for your spiritual guidance will help you grow into your own mastery, and in doing so, you will come to realize that the guidance you've been seeking has always been within you. As you deepen your connection with the chosen one who serves as your spiritual guide, it's important to prepare for the inevitable challenges that will arise. Spiritual growth, by its very nature, is not a linear process. There are moments of clarity and enlightenment, but there are also moments of confusion, doubt, and even pain. These challenges are not signs that you are on the wrong path. They are, in fact, essential parts of the journey. They are the catalysts for transformation. One of the first challenges you may encounter is the feeling of resistance. This resistance can manifest in many forms. It could be internal, like self-doubt or fear, or external, like life circumstances that seem to pull you away from your spiritual practice. Resistance often shows up when you are on the verge of a breakthrough. It's as if the ego, sensing that it's about to be transcended, tries to pull you back into familiar patterns of limitation. When you feel this resistance, ask yourself, what am I afraid of losing if I continue to grow? Sometimes, the things we cling to, whether it's old beliefs, habits, or even relationships are the very things holding us back from our higher potential. And this is where your guide comes in. The chosen one you've aligned with will help you recognize these patterns, but they won't remove them for you. That's your work. They will help you see the resistance for what it is, an invitation to step into a new level of awareness, but you must be willing to face it. Another challenge you might face is the temptation to idealize your spiritual guide. It's easy to see someone who embodies such wisdom and strength and place them on a pedestal. But the truth is, no guide, no matter how enlightened, is perfect. They are still human, with their own flaws and challenges. Idealizing your guide can be dangerous because it creates a dynamic of dependency and projection. You might start to believe that they hold all the answers and that without them, you cannot grow. This is not the role of a true spiritual guide. A chosen one is not there to be worshipped or idolized. They are there to help you find your own power. If you find yourself placing your guide on a pedestal, take a step back and ask, am I giving away my power by believing that this person is the source of my growth? The best spiritual guides will always redirect you back to yourself. They will remind you that while they may provide guidance and support, the real transformation is happening within you. Then, there's the challenge of disagreement. There may come a time when you and your guide don't see eye to eye. This can be unsettling, especially if you've come to rely on their wisdom. But disagreement is not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it can be one of the most powerful moments in your spiritual journey. A true chosen one will not expect you to follow them blindly. They will encourage you to question, to think for yourself, to engage with the teachings in a way that resonates with your own truth. When disagreement arises, instead of reacting with frustration or doubt, ask yourself, what is this disagreement teaching me about my own path? Sometimes it's through conflict that we discover our deepest truths. A true guide will honor your autonomy and will not try to impose their beliefs on you. They will respect your process, even if it diverges from their own. Lastly, one of the most difficult challenges is knowing when it's time to part ways with your guide. This can be a painful realization, especially if you've developed a deep bond. But remember, the path of spiritual growth is one of constant evolution. The guide who was perfect for you at the beginning of your journey may not be the one who can take you to the next level. There's no shame in moving on. In fact, it's a sign of growth. If you find yourself at a crossroads, unsure whether it's time to continue with your guide or seek a new one, ask yourself, is this person still helping me grow? Or have I outgrown this relationship? The answer may not come easily, but trust that your inner wisdom will guide you. The best chosen one will understand this too. They will not cling to the role of being your guide. They will release you with love and encouragement when it's time for you to move forward. In the end, staying true to your path means honoring the process, embracing the challenges, and trusting that every experience, whether it's smooth or difficult, serves your highest good. The role of the chosen one is to walk alongside you for a time, to offer guidance and reflection, but ultimately, it is you who must walk the path. The challenges you face with your guide are not obstacles. They are gateways to deeper understanding, both of yourself and of the spiritual truths you are seeking. As we near the culmination of our journey together, one truth becomes increasingly clear. The ultimate goal of spiritual guidance is to lead you back to yourself. The chosen one, no matter how wise or transformative their teachings may be, is not your final destination. They are a waypoint, a mirror reflecting your own potential. The final stage of spiritual mastery is not about finding the perfect guide, it's about becoming your own guide. This might sound daunting at first, especially if you've relied on external sources of wisdom for much of your journey. But here's the paradox: the more you evolve along your spiritual path, the more you realize that the true guide you've been seeking has always been within you. The teachers, the mentors, the chosen ones, they have all been helping you cultivate the ability to trust your own inner wisdom. Let me ask you a question. Do you trust yourself? I mean, really trust yourself. Not just in the small, everyday decisions, but in the big, existential questions. Do you trust that you have the capacity to navigate your own spiritual path, even when the road ahead is unclear? This is the crux of spiritual mastery, not the accumulation of knowledge or experiences, but the deep, abiding trust in your own soul's wisdom. The best spiritual guides know this. They know that their role is to help you awaken to your own inner teacher. They don't need you to follow them forever. In fact, they will encourage you to step into your own power, to become the leader of your own spiritual journey. This transition from student to master is one of the most profound shifts you can experience, and it doesn't happen overnight. It happens gradually as you begin to realize that the insights you once sought from others are now arising naturally from within. But how do you know when you're ready to become your own guide? The answer is not in some external sign or validation. It's in how you feel. You'll know you're ready when you no longer look outside of yourself for approval, when you trust your intuition even in the face of uncertainty, and when you embrace the idea that you are the creator of your own spiritual path. This doesn't mean you'll never seek guidance again. Even the most advanced spiritual masters continue to learn from others. But the relationship changes. You no longer seek guidance from a place of lack or insecurity. Instead, you seek it from a place of curiosity, expansion, and mutual respect. You understand that while others can offer valuable perspectives, the ultimate authority on your spiritual journey is you. So, where does this leave us? The journey to find the best chosen one for your spiritual guidance is, in reality, a journey to find yourself. The chosen one is not someone who gives you all the answers. They are the one who helps you realize that you've had the answers within you all along. The final stage of spiritual mastery is the recognition that you are, and always have been, your own guide. And now, I leave you with one final question. Are you ready to step into your own mastery and trust yourself as the chosen one on your spiritual path? The choice is yours.